my name is Gabriela Santos, and I will be discussing muscle cars today. Although there are many muscle cars, I will be discussing the three most recognized manufacturers along with their known muscle cars: Ford Motor Company, GM, short for General Motors, and Chrysler. I have been around muscle cars for quite a while, causing me to study them along with my tedious research for my topic. Let us begin with Ford Motor Company. Ford was ultimately the first to pave the way for the muscle car industry. The passion of one man made a huge impact on Ford. According to an article, The Man Who Saved the V8, Morrissey's detailed prose, passionate recollections, and careful documentation helped bring this era of automotive history to life, and that he did. Ford originally wanted to swap out their powerful V8 engine for their weaker V6, and ultimately he ended up saving Ford's V8 engine, which had a huge impact on their sales. In 1964, Ford introduced their 1965 Ford Mustang. It's also known as 1964 and a half due to it being broad outlay. Their sales were higher than anticipated, selling over 1 million units in as little as 18 months. In 1965, Carroll Shelby and Ford partnered up, introducing the 1965 Shelby GT350 with the horsepower of 425. It was originally their most highest muscle car at their time. In 1967, they brought out the Shelby GT500, making it at the time their most powerful muscle car. In result, Ford has upgraded tremendously through the Ford Mustang up to today. Up next is GM, short for General Motors. They're known for manufacturing many muscle cars among the American muscle industry. It was first established in 1908, and they are popularly known for manufacturing Pontiac's GTO. First introduced in 1964, also known as the GOAT, it was the first mid-sized car to have a big engine. John Dularan was the chief engineer at the time for Pontiac, and he was basically behind the idea of this. Consumers had the option to choose from a standard cubic 3-9 engine with 325 horsepower or the same engine with 348 horsepower. The GTO was built in generations, so it's very limited quantity. The last known model was made in 2006. The car era was in no way slowing down in the 60s and 70s, and consumers wanted more, and the sales ultimately proved it. Lastly, we have Chrysler. Chrysler owns Dodge, so Dodge is known for their most popular muscle car, the Challenger. It was first introduced in 1969 as a 1970 model. Consumers had the option to choose any engine lineup from Chrysler. Among that lineup was the Hemi engine. They are the only ones to produce the Hemi engine, along with their Mopar car parts. This powerful Hemi engine had a horsepower of 425. And since then, Chrysler has introduced the Hellcat, which has a horsepower 707 6.2 engine, and it's the most powerful muscle car produced by Chrysler yet. Ultimately, Chrysler has done many upgrades since first introducing their Challenger up to today with their Hellcat. Allow me to summarize the legendary classics of American muscle. I showed the main classics of the three most recognized manufacturers: Ford Motor Company, GM, short for General Motors, and Chrysler, along with their three most recognized muscle cars: the Mustang, the GTO, along with the Challenger. My references include The Man Who Saved the V8, The Untold Stories of Some of the Most Important Product Decisions in the History of Ford Motor Company by Kirkus Reviews, Cars and Cultures by American Poetry Reviews, Chevy Flexes Its Muscle Car, Corvette is Back and Better by Eric Everett, 64 Pontiac GTO by Sherman Dawn and Rick Graves, Muscle Cars Explained by Robert Benz. Thank you for watching.